Hey guys, Dan here. Just to let you know that my reaction videos come out every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. I also do live streams each Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday on YouTube. If you want to help out the channel, there will be a link down below to my Patreon. Thank you for your time and now on to the video. Have a good day. Hey guys, Dan here and welcome back to another video and another reaction. And today we're going to be reacting to ranking every soldier weapon in MvM. This is a video made by TF2 and the original video will be linked down to the description so you guys can give it a like and watch it too. And guys, I have a few things to say after the reaction, but right now I just would like to say that tomorrow, Saturday, the 13th of May, we're going to be having a special live stream that will be happening both on YouTube and Twitch, so you can watch it anywhere you want. But we're going to be playing Left 4 Dead with a few guests, and it's going to be very fun. I hope to see you guys there, and now, without further ado, let's go.
What are soldiers' best and worst weapons in MvM?
Oh yeah, my pick for this about the best weapons in each category will be the airstrike, the banner that gives you crit immunities and also allows soldier to have 20 extra health, and the escape plan.
Here we go again, boys. Today we're answering that question with yet another MvM tier list. Same rules as last time. This is a 2 cities tier list. It's made from the perspective of a solo queuing player, and each weapon is ranked based off their utility within the respective weapon slots. So yes, rocket launchers and melee weapons will be in the same tier as each other. No, this does not make them equally as good. Let's go.
Imagine the end of the... Oh yeah, I was about to say, imagine the training rocket jumper to be in first. Imagine that.
So normally I start things off with the D tier, but the rocket jumper is just so much of a meme weapon that it deserves its own tier. If you're using this weapon, you're trolling. There's absolutely no getting around that. And if you're trying to seriously use a rocket launcher that does no damage, I've got some crayons to sell you. They make a pretty good snack. The stock shovel does about as much damage as those shitty plastic ones you buy from Walmart. It's completely worthless for both damage and utility, and even in a world where it would do good damage, Soldier is still too slow to ever land the hits anyways.
That kind of reminds me the one time that Soundsmith, I think it was Soundsmith, he made a meme about the legend of the duped shovel, where he tried to sell a duped shovel on a trade server with a friend. Imagine that.
The Market Gardener has the exact same problems as the stock shovel. It doesn't have any form of utility, and the damage output makes it almost never worth using. I guess you could crit a robot sniper or maybe knock out an Uber medic or something, but I just can't imagine any reason to seriously
It's better
use
to
it.
focus on the rocket launcher. I never see anyone using any melees.
This weapon trains is
I
making
think
you
all
take
the
10%
melees with the
more damage from
exception...
bullets.
All the melees with the exception of the rocket jumper will be in the lowest tier possible, with except maybe the escape plan. I think that will be the best melee.
For literally zero upside. In fact, the pain train is literally the only undeniable downgrade in MvM. Its only benefit is capturing objectives twice as fast. If I ever find a payload cart lodged in Manhattan, I'll let you guys know, but until then, this thing is a complete joke.
Agreed.
The only way to do damage with the man-treads is by blasting yourself to the clouds and falling into a pack of robots with brute force. This strategy is only viable if you're going for the world's worst KD ratio in MvM. All that risk and all that setup for less damage than what you can get from a single rocket. Why? The gunboats operate off an easy premise. The soldier rocket jumps a lot, therefore reducing the damage of rocket jumps is good. But in MvM, you stay relatively stationary. Rocket jumping may be 20% as much as you do in casual, so that makes the gunboats 20% as effective as they normally are. And even then, there are far more easily accessible heal sources that get you up to full in MvM. So this is probably the only mode in the entire game where the gunboats just aren't viable at all.
Also, one of the things that makes me think that the airstrike has a good possible way to be in first, maybe only being challenged by the OG rocket launcher or the Bega's bazooka, is that there are so many healing options in this game, and so many what was the name? So many ammo options like Engineer's Dispenser, which will be with a higher reach maybe, or so many different ammo packs in the map that you can access easily or in a quickly because of your rocket jump when compared to other classes. So yeah, Soldier's rocket launcher, either the airstrike or Bega bazooka, will be on first because of that characteristic. And also there are many healing sources, medic, dispensers, yeah. Oh,
Like
they
the
are all
pistols for
tied?
Scout, I'm lumping all of Soldier's shotguns together because they all suck ass for the exact same reasons. The shotguns are only effective at close range, but you already have a weapon that'll kill every robot before they get within 10 feet of you. I guess it allows you to shoot reflect pyros without any risk of death, but I think we can all agree that barely matters at all. The Liberty Launcher does shit damage
Yeah,
and has
Liberty
fuck all
Launcher
to
is
make up
very,
for
very
it.
bad.
The faster projectile speed
I also
doesn't
agree
matter,
that
the
it would
self-damage
be
nerf on rocket jumps is
like
barely a
the
factor,
second
as mentioned with
versus
the gunboats,
soldier,
and while the
rocket
extra
launcher.
rocket is good,
Or
sacrificing
even the worst,
25%
if you
of your
like to
damage for
just
it
go
is
around with
never,
the
ever worth it.
rocket
Oh,
jumper,
but you
that's
can
you, but
upgrade the
on
damage.
MvM, this
Yeah,
is
and you can
one of
upgrade
the
the clip
worst
size on
ones,
every other
one of the
rocket
worst
launcher
rocket
for the
launchers.
exact same price, and get more than one rocket for the same credit investment.
sneeze.
In no world is this weapon ever worth using. This weapon can one-shot samurai demos, and that's a good enough reason to put it in the C tier.
That's true,
Yeah,
I
they
did
can
not
one-shot you
think
back,
about it.
but
Yeah,
if you
the
let them
Habs Twitch
aggro onto something else, it really isn't an
really
issue.
kill
I know you can
demos
also
in one hit.
self-damage yourself
Wow.
with it to regen Uber, akin to the Boston Basher, but because it takes so long to pull out, you're better off shooting yourself and using a more appropriate melee. Oh hey, it's the more appropriate melee. The Equalizer may have zero uses in combat, in fact it's probably worse than the shovel in that regard, but it does allow Soldier to stay at a lower health threshold for 90% longer than he otherwise would. And this allows your team's medic to farm Uber off his self-damage for an even longer period of time.
That's a good idea.
This only happens on earlier waves though, thanks to the more frequent pauses between robots,
I
but it's
forgot
enough of a
that
niche to not
the
be
Equalizer
useless.
can actually be used as a way to
The
farm
Bison
Uber.
is TF2's
I learned
biggest
something
meme
today.
weapon, which is why it might come as a shock to know it's actually not that bad. It's pretty cheap to upgrade, and its default projectile penetration makes it pretty good for hitting several packs of robots at once, and even sometimes a tank alongside it. That's something that no soldier weapon, even all of his rocket launchers, can ever do. So even though it's a worse option than the rocket launcher in most situations, I think it's powerful enough to justify the C tier. The base jumper has one trick, and that's to make the airstrike an absolute beast. For every other rocket launcher, the
he's
base jumper
already
is a
saying
complete
good things
waste
about
of a
the
secondary
airstrike.
with zero practical application. Yeah, I know you can avoid fall damage, but you can do that with the man treads too, and we all know where that shit landed.
Direct hit.
A lot of monkey brain newbies see the direct hit does 25% more damage and think bigger number equal better weapon, but for the direct hit, it's the complete opposite. For starters, Valve has this stupid tendency to bottleneck any weapon with a damage bonus by not allowing them to get more than 3 ticks of the damage upgrade, so on later waves this damage bonus ends up meaning fuck all. But more apparent from the get-go, the soldier's best trait relative to all the other classes is his crowd control, and the direct hit completely strips him of that strength in favor of greater single target damage.
When you're getting like when you're in a game mode like casual, where crowd control is not so important depending on the map, but you can go with this weapon, especially if you have more scouts, snipers, spies. But if you're MvM, where crowd control is everything, where splash damage is everything, yeah, this weapon will not be used most of the time.
It has its moments on giants and tanks on earlier waves, but that trade-off on a class that is very AoE oriented will never ever be worth it.
Oh no, we were wrong. Damn it, I really thought your strike would have a better chance on this map, since especially we have like this main drop area of the robots to be so big and large, and have a very big skybox, right? The size of the map would actually put him on A tier or at least in first. Damn it, I was wrong. I hope the Pegasus Bazooka can make it then. That's my second pick.
The airstrike is the trickiest soldier weapon to rank because it has one insane strength coupled with a barrage,
Look at all that damage.
At its maximum potential, the airstrike has the single greatest burst damage of any soldier weapon, and can fuck up any giant in the game in a matter of seconds.
Look at that,
but
beautiful.
you need to get 5 kills with the weapon to top off its clip size. You need to rocket jump every time you want to use it. You need to
that's not so
reload
bad.
all 16 rockets after firing them, and the Achilles heel of needing to equip the base jumper to stay in the air long enough to get the burst. It also does less damage and has a worse blast radius, making it a downgrade for crowd control. But I don't know, man, that burst is way too good for this thing to be any lower.
Yeah, I think that Wheezy was as neutral as it could, but yeah, I agree with him. Even if you don't have the base jumper, you can just jump a route from point A to point B, back and forth, like from 2 different ammo sources. And even if you don't shoot your maximum 16 rockets, you will be able to just shoot, reload them in 2 seconds with your reload speed, and then keep going back and forth. That would be great, don't you guys think? And even if like you do not wipe the entire wave of robots by yourself, you still will have like 3 or 4 other teammates shooting at the exact same point when the wave starts, which will spread the damage output between everyone. Everyone will have time to reload consistently. Like you need to reload and be close to the dispenser. And everyone will have some damage to show at the end of the game. I think I think not the base jump. I think the airstrike should be at a higher tier. But considering the ways that he said he was going to be analyze this thing of a solo queue player, not considering so much his team, but only what you can do by yourself, that's a fair judgment. But yeah, the airstrike is a better weapon than B tier, definitely.
The black box used to be the fucking OG when it was a straight 15 health per each robot hit with your rockets. But now it's capped at only 20, so it's a shadow of its former self. It gives you slightly more survivability in exchange for less sustained DPS due to having one less rocket in the clip, meaning you'll be reloading more often. It's a decent trade and probably will save your life here and there, but man, I remember when you could solo some sections just by using this thing, and now you can't. At the very least, you don't need that much health on kill, if any, and in my opinion, that's what justifies the B tier ranking. And for the third and final rocket launcher in the B tier, we have the Cow Mangler. So this weapon is basically the same as a stock rocket launcher, with one big upside but a few negating factors. And no, that big upside is not the charge shot. It doesn't stack with firing speed upgrades, and the fact it uses your entire clip makes it unbelievably useless. Now, the Cow Mangler's best feature, not needing to rely on ammo. So at the very least, this becomes the best rocket launcher in the game if your team's engineer sucks dick. But then come the nerfs. You become shit at dealing with robot engineers, which sure only matters on a third of the waves, but Soldier is usually the go-to class for taking out robot sentries if they're ever built, and now we won't be able to. But the bigger and more general issue comes in his inability to get crits, not just randomly, but through canteens and the Kritzkrieg as well. This makes it not that good on later waves because you have a lot of extra money to blow on crit canteens, but in most other situations, this, for its non-reliance on ammo, isn't the worst trade in the world. The melee, where its best use is running away.
Once again, I did not got right what was like the first one, the one that would be in the first place, or did I in Scout I said that the soda popper would be in first place? I think I was right about that. The Mad Milk and the Fan of War, but I think I got this one right. If this is like the last melee we had, at least we got that one right. Our last chance now is the banner to see which one's the best one.
Is surprisingly one of Soldier's best. The escape plan will very likely save your life at least a couple of times on each mission.
Oh no, there still is the whip. We got this wrong.
Bullet robots have perfect accuracy and can snipe you from afar while you're marked for death, but you're usually able to work around that through navigating the map's geography and manipulating the robot's aggro to not focus on you. It also allows you to get healed up safely and return back to the fight without having to go through the trouble of dying, respawning, and running back. In my opinion, it's Soldier's second best utility-based melee.
And we were wrong in everything.
We were wrong in everything. Are very good items. I just think that the battalions is the most situational, and therefore the weakest. 35% more damage resistance and nullifying critical hits from robots has its moments where it's a fucking guardian angel that saves your entire team. But those moments are few and far between on earlier waves, and on later waves you're usually topped up on resistances and don't need it as much. It's also always worth using if you're doing the 4 soldier strat on Bot Bash, but compared to the other banners, it's just generally not as good. For the second best rocket launcher in the game, we have Soldier's Reliable,
is the best one.
Rocket launcher. This weapon just does it all. It has really good damage, really good crowd control, and all of this with 0 and 8 negatives to balance it out. It's really good at every single range in the game, which can't be said for number 1, and is extremely forgiving when you mess up thanks to its untouched splash damage radius. And of course, one tick of Rocket Specialist removes all the damage fall off on a direct hit, and helps keep the Super Scouts from getting by with its minor stun. It's extremely consistent, and actually might be the most popular rocket launcher in MvM. It's just not the best. Soldier's melees have gotten a reputation for not being all that important, and while that is still
after giving some thought, like with the extra speed for your team to walk around the map, yeah, the best one.
mostly true. After using the whip for a while, I found out you can use it in so many situations during the downtime of some waves. If your rocket launcher is fully loaded and you don't have a banner ready to blow, then you may as well give you and someone on your team a speed boost, because why not? It can give soldiers' rocket jumps more momentum, it lets Heavy get his maximum damage ramp up slightly faster, and if you and a teammate are both working on the tank,
Also, I just realized the background music that is playing is a 8-bit version of America Fuck Yeah, I think.
the whip can help both of you get back to the front when need be. Its only real issue is that the whip has no situation where it's beneficial just on its own. You need a teammate for it to work. But in MvM, teamwork is the name of the game. Bigger number equals better weapon. It's not necessarily always wrong. The buff banner gives you and all members of your team within range mini crits, a 35% damage bonus to everything. And unlike something like the Fan of War, this can be used to make dealing with clusters of small robots so much easier. It recharges so fast that you can usually fill the bar within just a few seconds worth of DPS, so you'll be pumping your team's numbers all the time. And it's without a doubt the best banner to use on tanks. The only real issue with the buff banner is the same one that most mini crit weapons have, and that being that the constant spam of crit canteens at high levels of play makes the effect kind of obsolete. But at every other level of play, I'm confident with saying that the buff banner is the best secondary. And now we have the secondary that's the best at high level, although it's still very, very good at low and mid levels as well. Everything about the conch is just so useful. The passive health regen is one thing, but being able to get health back on hit, akin to the Mad Milk, combined with the added speed boost, changes the game for everybody on your team. It lets the Heavy do maximum damage ramp up without fear of death, it lets Soldier completely solo some portions of the wave, a la pre-2015 Black Box, and the speed boost allows your entire team to avoid projectiles much easier and get back to the front lines much quicker. And of course, this effect isn't invalidated by crit canteens. So its only real downside is that it doesn't really help in dealing damage towards the tank. But that's a small enough sacrifice for all the benefits it gives you and your team.
Yeah, for what I saw or what I remember seeing about MvM, Soldier is not the main class to go deal with tanks. That would be Scout, Pyro, and maybe Engineer or... Oh, what was the other one? Oh, I don't remember now, but I think that Soldier's job is now to go after the tanks if he can choose not to. So yeah, makes sense to just keep the damage overall to the team to the wave of robots instead of the tanks. And
lastly, we have the Soldier's best rocket launcher, and in fact, Soldier's best weapon in the entirety of MvM. There are so many reasons as to why the Beggar's Bazooka is absolutely
It's a spam machine.
Too numerous and too intricate to really explain in this video. So I'm mentioning right now that I'm making a whole video dedicated specifically to the Beggar's Bazooka and explaining why it's not only the best rocket launcher, but the best by a significant margin. But to TLDR that video for the tier list's sake, bigger number equals better weapon. And the Beggar's Bazooka has the biggest number of them all, by far, not even close. If you want to be notified as to when the Beggar's Bazooka video comes out, you should subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. I got a shitload of MvM content coming out that I think you guys will really like, so I'd appreciate it if you stuck around for that. So that's it, guys. See ya.
Okay, let's see if there's anything else on this tiny last portion. Oh, maybe it is. Oh, easy. I can respect that. Is he gonna die from fall damage? Yo! I can respect that. I can respect that. I have to say that I got everything wrong. All of my guesses were far away from what was the reality. So the only thing that I got kind of right was the fact that the Beggar's Bazooka had the chance to be in first place. But yeah, I did not imagine like the use of many of the items that are here. I did not imagine the whip being such a good weapon for it to be played in general. But yeah, well, given some thought and considering some of the arguments that Wheezy put up for us, I think that is right. Beggar's Bazooka is a monster. You can close the distance and have like just the speed boost of reloading your weapon with as many rockets as you can, spamming all around. The banners are amazing. I was wrong with my banner, but yeah, the conch being able to stack with the Mad Milk, it will be just that good. And mini crits all the time from the buff banner. Must be great. Guys, thanks so much for coming. I hope that you guys can give a like to the original video, link down to the description to Weezy's channel. Beware that, once again, tomorrow, Saturday, the 13th, I almost said the 15th, the 13th of May, we're gonna have a Left 4 Dead stream. It will happen at 20 p.m. Brazilian time, 19 p.m. Eastern time, and it will happen midnight at British time. It will happen midnight on Sunday. So, guys, thanks so much for coming. Thanks so much for saying. Hope you guys can give a like, subscribe, and maybe show up for the live streams on the channel. I do live streams every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I do reaction videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So thank you for coming. Thank you for staying. And until next time, bye. See ya.